Keanu was in Miami for a few days. Rare break between projects. No filming. No press. Just time to decompress. He'd rented a small place in South Beach. Nothing flashy. Just a quiet apartment near the water. He liked Miami. The energy. The music. The mix of cultures. It felt alive in a way Los Angeles sometimes didn't. His friend Alex Moreno was playing a set Friday night. Alex was a DJ. Electronic music. House. Techno. Progressive. He'd been in the scene for 20 years. Making a good living. Not famous, but respected. He and Keanu had met 15 years ago through mutual friends in the music industry. Stayed in touch. Saw each other when schedules allowed. Alex had texted earlier in the week. I'm headlining at Neon Nights Friday. Midnight set. You should come. Would love to have you there. Keanu had replied simply. I'll be there. He hadn't been to a nightclub in years. Maybe a decade. It wasn't his scene anymore. Too loud. Too crowded. Too much performance. But this was different. This was supporting a friend. Hearing his art. That mattered. Friday evening, Keanu was in his apartment, trying to decide what to wear. He didn't own club clothes. Didn't own designer, anything really. His wardrobe was simple. Jeans, t-shirts, boots, leather jackets. Comfortable. Functional. He settled on dark jeans. Black t-shirt. His favorite leather jacket. The one that was worn in all the right places. Comfortable boots. Nothing special. Just him. He thought about calling for car service. Having a driver. But that seemed excessive. He pulled out his phone. Opened Uber. Requested a ride. Easier. No fuss. The car arrived at 11:30. D'accord. Clean. Driver was a young guy. Early 20s. Listening to reggaeton quietly. Keanu got in the back. Neon Nights, please. The club on Ocean Drive? Yeah. Big night there tonight. Some famous DJ. Traffic might be crazy. That's fine. No ruse. The driver glanced in the rearview mirror. Looked at Keanu. Didn't recognize him in the dim light. Just another passenger. They drove in comfortable silence. Through the Miami night. Palm trees. Neon signs. People everywhere. Friday night energy. Alive. Electric. They arrived at Neon Nights at 11:45. The club was massive. Modern building. All glass and steel. Neon lights running up the sides. Blue. Pink. Green. Pulsing. The bass from inside was audible from the street. Thump. 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 Relentless rhythm. There was a huge line. Wrapped around the block. Mostly young people. Early 20s. Some 30s. Women in short dresses. High heels. Men in designer shirts. Expensive sneakers. Everyone holding phones. Taking selfies. Instagram stories. Snapchat. Documenting. Performing. Keanu paid the driver. Tipped well. Got out. Looked at the line. Looked at the VIP entrance. Separate. Roped off. 2 bouncers. Large men. Suits. Earpieces. One holding a tablet. That's where he needed to go. Alex would have put him on the list. He walked past the main line. A few people looked at him. Curious. He wasn't dressed like them. Wasn't trying to impress. Just walking with purpose. He approached the VIP entrance. Stopped at the velvet rope. The bouncer with the tablet looked up. Scanned Keanu quickly. Head to toe. Assessment immediate. The bouncer's name was Derek Jones. 32. Former college football player. Been working club security for 8 years. Thought he'd seen everything. Thought he knew how to read people. Name. Keanu Reeves. Derek looked down at his tablet. Scrolled through the list. Slowly. Names organized alphabetically. He went through the R's. Frowned. Scrolled again. Don't see you here. I'm a friend of Alex. Alex Moreno. The DJ performing tonight. Derek's expression didn't change. Right. Everyone's a friend of the DJ. You got confirmation? Text? Email? Some kind of proof. Keanu pulled out his phone. Opened his messages. Found the thread with Alex. Come by at midnight. Just give them my name. He showed the screen to Derek. Derek barely glanced at it. That's not official confirmation. That's just a text. Anyone can fake that. Sir, if you're not on the list, I can't let you in. Can you call Alex? He's inside. He can confirm. I can't interrupt the talent before a set. That's policy. Keanu nodded. Calm. Patient. Okay. Is there a manager I can speak with? Derek sighed, the kind of sigh that said this conversation was tiresome. Listen, man, I'm going to be straight with you. This club is for a certain crowd. Young, beautiful, connected, influencers, celebrities, high rollers. Not for. He gestured vaguely at Keanu. Your type. No offense. There are plenty of good bars around here. Quiet places. More age-appropriate. Maybe try one of those. Keanu's expression remained neutral. He'd heard this before. Different contexts. Same message. You don't belong here. Based on appearance. On age. On not fitting someone's narrow definition of acceptable. I appreciate the suggestion, but I'm here to see my friend perform. If you could just check with someone inside. The second bouncer moved closer. His name was Marcus Reed, 28, newer to the job, eager to impress Derek, eager to prove himself. He looked at Keanu more carefully. Something familiar. Something he couldn't quite place. Yo, Vidic. Wait a second. Doesn't he look like that actor? What's his name? Matrix guy. John Wick. Derek looked again. Squinted. Keanu Reeves? Nah. Keanu Reeves doesn't show up alone. He rolls with security. Entourage. Models. The whole package. This is just some dude. Probably a look-alike. Trying to get in on the resemblance. Marcus studied Keanu's face. Still uncertain. I don't know, man. The resemblance is pretty strong. Look-alikes are everywhere in Miami. Trust me. This isn't him. Real Keanu Reeves wouldn't be standing here arguing with us. He'd have people handling this. Right? Derek looked at Keanu. Challenging. You got people? Publicist? Manager? Someone who can verify? I came alone. Just me. I don't travel with an entourage. See? Derek said to Marcus. Not him. Keanu Reeves doesn't do anything alone. He's A-list. He's got handlers. Marcus still looked uncertain, but deferred to Derek. Senior guy. More experience. Must know better. Yeah, you're probably right. Derek turned back to Keanu. Tone firmer now. All right. Fun's over. Stop trying to impersonate celebrities. It's kind of pathetic. Move along. You're blocking actual guests. Keanu raised his hand slightly. Placating gesture. I'm not trying to cause problems. I'll just wait here and call my friend. He can sort this out. No, you're not waiting here. You're not loitering. This is private property. You need to leave. Now, I'm on a public sidewalk. You're within our perimeter. Move. I won't ask again. Keanu took a step back, complying, not escalating. He pulled out his phone, started to dial Alex's number. Derek moved forward, put a hand on Keanu's shoulder. Pushed, not violently, but definitely physical contact, definitely force. I said move. Don't make me tell you again, old man. Keanu absorbed the push, stepped back further, didn't react with anger. Just looked at Derek. That wasn't necessary. I was leaving. Should have left when I told you the first time. Now go, before this gets worse for you. Marcus stood beside Derek, arms crossed, united front. Both big men, both projecting authority, intimidation. Keanu was outnumbered, outmuscled, and he had no desire for confrontation. He walked away, down the sidewalk, about 20 feet from the entrance, out of their immediate space, but still visible. He leaned against the building, tried calling Alex. Phone rang and rang, went to voicemail. Inside the club, it would be too loud. Alex would be prepping, headphones on, checking equipment. Wouldn't hear his phone. Keanu sent a text. Outside. Bouncers won't let me in. Call when you can. He waited. Watched the line. Watched people being admitted. Young. Fashionable. Confident. The bouncers were selective. Some people from the main line were pulled forward. Upgraded to VIP. Based on looks. On clothing. On some invisible criteria. Others were rejected. Told to wait. Told the club was at capacity. The whole thing was performance. Theater. Arbitrary power. Keanu didn't care about the club. About getting in for its own sake. But he cared about supporting Alex. About being there for his set. About honoring his word. He'd said he'd come. He wanted to deliver. He checked his watch. 11:55. 5 minutes until midnight. Alex would be going on soon. Starting his set. Keanu pulled up Alex's Instagram. Maybe he could message him there. But as he looked at his phone, he heard a door open. Side entrance. About 30 feet down from the VIP entrance. Metal door. usually locked. It opened. Someone stepped out. Leather jacket, jeans, beanie, cigarette in hand, lighter sparking, face illuminated briefly. Alex. Keanu straightened. Alex. Alex turned. Saw him. Face lit up instantly. Huge smile. Keanu. Bro. He jogged over. They embraced. That comfortable hug between old friends. Genuine affection. You made it. I wasn't sure you'd actually come. I know clubs aren't your thing. I said I would. Of course I came. Why are you out here? You should be inside. VIP section. Best seat in the house. Your security wouldn't let me in. Alex pulled back. Confused. What? I put your name on the list personally. You should have been waved right through. They said I wasn't on the list, and that I didn't look like I belonged. Suggested I try a quieter bar. More age-appropriate. Alex's face darkened. They said what? It's fine. Not a big deal. It's not fine. That's bullshit. Did they not recognize you? One of them thought I might be a lookalike. Decided the real Keanu Reeves wouldn't show up alone. Without an entourage. That's the dumbest thing I've ever heard. You never travel with an entourage. That's one of the things I respect about you. You're just you. Always. Keanu shrugged. They were doing their job, as they understood it. Gatekeeping. Making sure the right people get in. The right people. Jesus. This industry sometimes. Alex shook his head. Come on. We're going in through the back. Forget those idiots. You sure? I don't want to cause problems. Problems? You're my guest. My friend. You're supposed to be here. This is my show. My rules. Come on. Alex led Keanu to the side door. It was propped open slightly. He pushed it wide. They stepped into a service corridor. Concrete walls. Dim lighting. Utilitarian. The bass was louder here, vibrating through the walls. Through the floor. Thump. 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 Relentless. They walked through back hallways. Past storage rooms. Kitchen. Staff areas. The architecture of the club that guests never saw. The bones beneath the glamour. They emerged into the VIP section. Behind the DJ booth. Elevated platform. Couches. Small tables. Bottle service area. Security keeping regular patrons from entering. The main floor was packed. Hundreds of people. Dancing. Drinking. Talking. Phones everywhere. Recording. The lighting was dramatic. Lasers. Strobes. LED panels on the walls. Everything synchronized to the music. Currently, a warm-up DJ was playing, getting the crowd ready, building energy. Alex pointed to a leather couch. Best position. View of the whole club. But protected. Private. Sit here. This is your spot. I'm about to go on. This set is for you, brother. Everything I'm playing tonight, it's for you. You don't have to do that. I want to. You flew across the country. Came to support me. Dealt with my club's asshole security. Least I can do is dedicate the set. Now sit. Enjoy. I'm about to make some noise. Alex grinned. Gave Keanu a fist bump. Then moved to the DJ booth. The warm-up DJ was wrapping up. Final track. Building to a crescendo. The crowd was primed. Ready. Anticipation building. Alex put on his headphones. Started checking levels. Cueing tracks. In his element. This was his art. His passion. The warm-up DJ finished. Crowd cheered. Alex took his place at the decks. The club's lighting shifted. Focused on him. Giant screens showed his face. His hands on the equipment. He raised both arms. Crowd roared. Then he brought them down. Hard. First beat dropped. Massive. Heavy. Overwhelming. The bass hit like physical force. The crowd erupted. Bodies moving instantly. As one. Alex was in control. Manipulating the energy. Building. Releasing. Taking them on a journey. After 2 tracks, he grabbed the microphone. Voice booming through the speakers. Miami. How we feeling tonight? Roar from the crowd. We got something special happening. Someone very special in the building. My brother. My friend. A legend. Keanu Reeves is in the house. The crowd went wild. Screaming. Phones came up immediately. Hundreds of them. Everyone trying to spot him. Trying to capture the moment. Keanu in the VIP section. Visible on the screens now. Cameras had found him. He raised a hand. Modest wave. Smile. The crowd's energy intensified. This whole set is for you, Keanu. Let's go. Alex launched into the next track. Harder. Faster. More intense. The crowd lost themselves. Keanu sat back, watching, feeling the music, the vibrations, the collective energy of hundreds of people united in rhythm. This was why Alex loved it. This connection, this moment, this shared experience. People in the VIP section recognized Keanu now. Some approached, respectfully, asked for photos. He obliged, kind, patient, even here, even in the middle of this chaos. Always gracious, always present. Outside at the front entrance, Derek and Marcus were still working, letting people in, checking IDs, maintaining the velvet rope theater. Neither had any idea what was happening inside, that the man they'd rejected and pushed was now the guest of honor, that the DJ had dedicated his entire set to him, that hundreds of people were posting videos and photos, that a story was forming, one that would reach far beyond this club, far beyond this night. Social media was already exploding. Instagram stories, TikTok videos, Twitter posts. Keanu Reeves at Neon Nights. Alex Moreno dedicated his set to Keanu. This is insane. The posts were enthusiastic, celebratory. Fans thrilled that Keanu was out, being normal, supporting a friend. But other videos were surfacing too, shot earlier, by people who'd been in line, who'd witnessed the interaction at the VIP entrance. Shaky footage, phone cameras, but clear enough. Derek refusing Keanu, calling him old man. Marcus suggesting he was a look-alike. Derek pushing him, telling him to leave. The two narratives collided online. Keanu inside, being celebrated. Keanu outside, being rejected. The contrast was stark, damning. Comments flooded in. Did the bouncers seriously not recognize Keanu Reeves? They called him an old man. Are you kidding me? This is ageism in club culture. Those bouncers are about to lose their jobs. The videos spread fast, reposted, shared. Within an hour, hundreds of thousands of views. Within 2 hours, millions. The algorithm loved it. Drama, celebrity, injustice, redemption, perfect viral content. Upstairs in his office, Roberto Sanchez was scrolling through his phone. He owned Neon Nights, had built it from nothing, invested everything, made it one of the hottest clubs in Miami. He was proud of what he'd created. The reputation, the exclusivity, the celebrity clientele. He saw a notification. Tag post. His club. He opened it. Video of Keanu inside. VIP section. Alex dedicating the set. Roberto Smaid. This was great. Organique célébrité promotion. Better than any paid advertising. He shared it to the club's official account. Then he saw another notification. Different video. He opened it. His smile faded. This was from outside. The entrance. His bouncers. Rejecting someone. He turned up the volume. Listened. This club is for young people. More age-appropriate. He's just a look-alike. The push. The dismissal. Roberto's stomach dropped. He looked closer at the man being rejected. Even in the dim lighting. Even in casual clothes. Unmistakably Keanu Reeves. His bouncers had turned away Keanu Reeves. Had pushed him. Had insulted him. And it was on video. Going viral. He stood up fast. Chair rolling backward. He had to fix this. Immediately. Before this became a disaster. Before the negative narrative overtook the positive. He ran out of his office. Down the stairs. Toward the front entrance. Toward Derek and Marcus, who had no idea the storm that was coming. Roberto burst through the front entrance doors. The music from inside spilled out briefly before the doors closed behind him. Derek and Marcus were at their post, still checking IDs, still managing the velvet rope, still performing their roles as gatekeepers. They looked up as Roberto approached. His face was red, breathing hard from running down the stairs. You too. My office. Now. Derek's eyebrows went up. Boss, we're in the middle of the door. Can't leave our post. I'll get replacements. Office. Now. This isn't a request. Something in Roberto's tone made them move. They glanced at each other, confused, worried, followed him back inside, through the main floor, up the stairs, past the VIP lounges, to the administrative level. Roberto's office was at the end of the hall. Modern, glass walls overlooking the club floor below, desk covered in paperwork, monitors showing security camera feeds. Roberto walked behind his desk, Didn't sit. Stood. Arms crossed. Jaw tight. Derek and Marcus stood in front of the desk, like students called to the principal's office, uncertain what they'd done, but knowing it was serious. Do you know who Keanu Reeves is? Derek blinked. Yeah. Actor. Matrix. John Wick. What? Roberto picked up his phone. Opened a video. Turned around. Showed them. The footage from outside. Their interaction with Keanu. The refusal. The mockery. The push. Derek's face went pale. Marcus looked like he might be sick. That's Keanu Reeves, who you just rejected. Called an old man. Suggested was a look-alike trying to scam his way in. Then physically pushed. All on camera. All going viral as we speak. Millions of views. Explain. Derek stammered. He wasn't on the list. I checked. Did you check carefully? Or did you glance and make an assumption? I scrolled through. His name wasn't there. Roberto pulled up his own tablet. The guest list. Searched for Reeves. There it was. Keanu Reeves. +1. Listed under Alex Moreno's personal guests. Derek had missed it. Scrolled too fast. Or had preconceived notions that prevented him from seeing it. It's right here. You missed it. But even if he wasn't on the list, you don't treat anyone like that. You certainly don't put your hands on them. What were you thinking? Marcus spoke up. He didn't look like a celebrity. He was dressed normal. No security. No entourage. We thought he was a tourist trying to get in. Or a look-alike. So you judge him based on appearance. Based on your assumptions about how celebrities should present themselves. Did you consider that maybe some celebrities don't want the spectacle? That maybe some prefer to be low-key? Normal. We were protecting the club's reputation, Derek said defensively. Keeping out people who don't belong. People who don't belong? Keanu Reeves is literally being celebrated inside right now. The DJ dedicated his entire set to him. Hundreds of people are posting about him being here. This is the best publicity we could ask for. Except it's being overshadowed by you two treating him like garbage at the door. Roberto pulled up more videos on his phone. The post from inside. Keanu in VIP. Smiling. Enjoying the music. Meeting fans. Being gracious. This is what you almost prevented. This moment. This organic, beautiful publicity. Because you decided he wasn't good enough for our club. We didn't know. Marcus repeated weakly. You didn't know because you didn't try to know. You made assumptions. Snapped judgments. Based on age. Based on clothing. Based on the fact that he didn't fit your narrow idea of what a VIP should look like. That's not security work. That's discrimination. Derek's defensiveness cracked. Reality settling in. Are we fired? Roberto wanted to say yes. Immediately. But he paused. Thought about optics. About fairness. About whether this was truly their fault or a symptom of something larger. The culture he'd created. The unspoken rules about who belonged. The video of you two has millions of views. People are calling for you to be fired. They're saying you're ageist, classist, that you represent everything wrong with nightclub culture. What do you think I should do? Neither answered. Both stared at the floor. Here's what's going to happen. You're both terminated. Effective immediately. I can't keep you after this. The PR damage is too severe. You'll receive your final paychecks. 2 weeks severance. That's more than generous given the circumstances. Collect your things. Leave through the back entrance. Don't talk to media. Don't post on social media. Just go quietly. That's not fair, Derek protested. We were doing what we always do. What we were trained to do. Here at the door. Keep the vibe right. Keep out people who don't fit. And that's the problem. That I'm complicit in. That this industry is complicit in. We've created a culture where security staff think their job is to judge people's worth. To decide who's cool enough. Rich enough. Young enough. Beautiful enough. That's toxic. And it ends now. So with the scapegoats, we take the fall for the whole industry. You're taking the fall for putting your hands on a guest. For being rude. For being caught on camera doing something indefensible. Yes, the culture contributed. But you made choices. You chose to be dismissive. You chose to push him. On that, Marcus had tears in his eyes. I need this job. I have rent. Bills. What am I supposed to do? You should have thought about that before you treated someone like that. I'm sorry, but this decision is final. Security will escort you to collect your belongings. Then you leave. Both of you. Roberto pressed a button on his desk phone. Send up 2 security officers. I need an escort. He looked back at Derek and Marcus. Wait in the hall. Someone will be up in a moment. They shuffled out, defeated, scared, the reality of their situation sinking in. In the hallway, they stood in silence. Finally, Derek spoke, quietly. This is bullshit. He's overreacting, covering his own ass. Maybe, but we did push that guy, whether he was Keanu Reeves or not. That wasn't cool. He wasn't leaving. We had to move him. We could have called a manager. Could have checked the list more carefully. Could have been less dickish about it. We screwed up, Derek. Derek didn't respond. Couldn't admit it yet. Too angry. Too defensive. Security arrived. 2 large men. Professional. Stoic. Gentlemen. This way. They were led to the locker room, given 5 minutes to pack their personal items. Toiletries. Extra clothes. Photos. Mementos from years of work. All going into plastic bags. Then escorted through back corridors. Past confused staff members. Out the rear exit. Into the Miami night. No ceremony. No woodbye. Just gone. Standing in the alley behind the club, Derek pulled out his phone. Checked social media. The videos were everywhere. His face. His words. Old man. More age-appropriate. The push. Comments brutal. Hope you lose your job. Age is trash. Imagine not recognizing Keanu Reeves. Imagine treating anyone like that regardless of who they are. He wanted to defend himself. To explain. To tell his side. But Marcus grabbed his arm. Don't post anything. Don't engage. You'll make it worse. How could it be worse? I just lost my job. I'm viral for all the wrong reasons. My name is Mud. Posting defensive stuff won't help. Trust me. Just, let's go home. Figure out next steps tomorrow. They walked to their cars. Parked in the employee lot. Drove away separately. Both trying to process what had just happened. How one interaction, 5 minutes, had destroyed their livelihoods. Their reputations. Everything. Inside the club, the party continued. Oblivious to the drama. Alex was deep in his set, taking the crowd higher. Keanu was still in VIP. Relaxed. Enjoying the music. A few club staff had approached. Apologized profusely for the door incident. He waved them off. It's fine. I'm here now. That's what matters. Great music. Great energy. No complaints. But word was spreading among staff. The bouncers had been fired. The video was viral. The club's reputation was at risk. Some felt Derek and Marcus deserved it. Others felt bad. Thought it was harsh. Thought they were scapegoats for a larger problem. By 2 a.m., Alex's set was winding down. Final tracks, bringing the energy to a graceful conclusion. The crowd was euphoric, exhausted, satisfied. He played them out with a melodic, uplifting tune, then stepped back from the decks. Arms raised, crowd cheering, screaming his name. He came over to Keanu, took off his headphones, sweating, grinning. How was it? Incredible. You're so talented. Thank you for dedicating it to me. Thank you for being here. Means everything, bro. Alex sat down, grabbed a bottle of water, drank deeply. I heard about the door situation. The bouncers. They got fired. I heard. I feel bad about that. Why? They were assholes to you. They were doing what they thought was their job. Gatekeeping. The culture trains them to think that way. To judge. To exclude. They're just symptoms of a bigger problem. Maybe, but they still chose to be rude. To push you. That's on them. Is it? Or is it on the system that tells them certain people don't belong? That rewards them for being selective? For maintaining a certain image? Alex thought about that. Both, maybe. Systems broken. But individuals still have choices. Still have agency. True. I just don't like being the reason someone loses their livelihood. Even if they were jerks. You're too kind, man. Most people will be celebrating their firing. I'm not most people. No, you're definitely not. Alex smiled. You staying or heading out? I'll head out. It's late. You did amazing. Really. So proud of you. They hugged again. Keanu gathered his jacket, made his way toward the exit. Security had been alerted. They created a path for him. Through the thinning crowd. People called out. Asked for photos. He stopped a few times. Obliged. Then continued to the front entrance. New bouncers were at the door now. Replacements for Derek and Marcus. They practically bowed as Keanu approached. Mr. Reeves, we're so sorry about earlier. That was completely unacceptable. Please accept our apologies. Not necessary. No hard feelings. Have a good night. He stepped out into the Miami air. Humid. Warm. The street was still busy. Clubs emptying. After parties forming. He pulled out his phone, ordered an Uber, waited on the sidewalk. A few people recognized him. Approached. He chatted briefly. Took selfies. Always patient. Always kind. His ride arrived. A Tesla this time. Quiet. He got in. Gave a driver his address. They drove through South Beach. Past Art Deco buildings. Palm trees silhouetted against the night sky. Neon reflecting off wet pavement. The city was beautiful at night. Alive. Back at his apartment, Keanu checked his phone. Text from his publicist. From friends. All about the club incident. The videos. The firing. He read through them. Didn't respond yet. Too tired. He'd deal with it in the morning. He showered. Washed off the club smell. Sweat. Smoke. Bass. Got into bed. Thought about Derek and Marcus. About their faces when they'd realized who he was. Too late. The damage done. He wondered if they'd learn from this. Grow. Or just be bitter. Blame him. Blame the system. Refuse accountability. He hoped for the former, but suspected the latter was more likely. At least for one of them. People responded to crisis differently. Some used it for growth. Others for resentment. He couldn't control which they'd choose. Could only control his own response. Which would be grace. As always. Even when it wasn't deserved. Especially when it wasn't deserved. He closed his eyes. The bass from Alex's set still echoing in his memory. A good night despite everything. Music. Friendship. Connection. That's what mattered. The rest was noise. He'd address it tomorrow. For now, sleep. Outside. Miami continued its endless party. Unaware. Unconcerned. Just another Friday night in paradise. Another story unfolding. Another viral moment being born. The internet never slept. Never forgot. Never forget. I'm not defending their behavior. I'm questioning whether they're the real problem. They were trained to gatekeep. To judge. To create exclusivity. That's what clubs want. What the industry rewards. Firing them is easy. Changing the culture is hard. I understand your point. But Keanu, you were physically pushed. You were insulted. You have every right to be angry. No one would blame you. I'm not angry. I am tired. Tired of watching individuals take all the blame for systemic issues. These guys were assholes to me. Absolutely. But they were following a playbook. One that's been written by an entire industry. If we don't address that, this will just happen again. Different people. Same story. Lisa was quiet. Processing. Okay, so what do you want to say? Specifically, Keanu thought. Something like, the incident at Neon Nights was unfortunate. The security staff made assumptions based on my appearance and age. That was wrong, but they're not villains. They're products of a nightclub culture that prioritizes image over substance. Exclusivity over inclusivity. That culture needs to change. Firing 2 people doesn't accomplish that. I hope clubs everywhere will examine their policies. Train staff to treat everyone with respect. Judge people by behavior, not appearance. Make spaces welcoming for all ages. All styles. All backgrounds. That would honor this incident better than any individual punishment. Lisa was typing. That's good. Really good. But you know it's going to be controversial. Some people will love it. Others will say you're being too soft. Too forgiving. Let them say it. I'm not interested in revenge. I'm interested in progress. All right. I'll draft something formal. Send it to you for approval. We'll release it this afternoon. Give it time to spread before the weekend news cycle ends. Thanks, Lisa. Keanu? For what it's worth, this is why people love you. You always take the high road, even when you don't have to. It's not about high roads. It's about being honest. About what I actually think. Not what people want to hear. They hung up. Keanu finished his coffee. Thought about Derek and Marcus. Wondered how they were handling things. Probably not well. Going viral for negative reasons was brutal. The internet was merciless. Unforgiving. They were being torn apart in comments. Called every name. Threatened. Their lives dissected by strangers who knew nothing about them except one 5-minute interaction. That was the problem of viral justice. It was disproportionate. Belmano. Two guys made bad decisions for 5 minutes. Now they'd be defined by it forever. Their families would see it. Future employers would see it. It would follow them, haunt them. Maybe they deserved consequences. But did they deserve that level of destruction? Keanu didn't know. Justice was complicated. Proportionality was subjective. All he knew was adding his voice to the pylon felt wrong. Using his platform to destroy rather than educate felt wasteful. If he could redirect this energy towards systemic change, that seemed more valuable. Meanwhile, Derek was at home. Small apartment in Coral Gables. Hadn't slept. Just scrolled through social media all night. Watching his life implode in real time. The comments were vicious. Personal. People had found his Instagram. His Facebook. Were posting the club video on his pages. Tagging him. Making sure he knew what people thought of him. You're trash. Hope you never work again. Imagine being so stupid you don't recognize Keanu Reeves. Imagine treating anyone like that. You deserve everything coming to you. Some are worse. Threats. Doxing. His address posted. His phone number. People calling. Leaving voicemails. Angry. Hateful. A few threatening physical violence. He'd turn off his phone finally. But the damage was done. His anxiety was through the roof. His hands shook. He felt sick. His girlfriend, Jessica, was trying to be supportive. But even she was struggling. Derek, you messed up. You have to admit that. The way you talked to him. The push. That wasn't okay. I know I messed up. But does that mean I deserve death threats? People finding my address? Calling my family? This is insane. The internet is insane. You know that. Once something goes viral, there's no controlling it. People feel anonymous. They say things they'd never say in person. I just don't understand. I was doing my job. Protecting the club's door. Keeping out people who didn't belong. He did belong. He was on the list. And even if he wasn't, you don't treat people like that. You call him an old man, Derek. You mocked him for not having an entourage. That's cruel. I didn't know it was actually Keanu Reeves. It shouldn't matter who it was. That's the point everyone's making. You treat all people with respect. Not just celebrities. Not just people who look important. Everyone. Derek put his head in his hands. I know. You're right. I was an asshole. But I can't take it back now. It's out there. Forever. My face. My name. My worst moment. Millions of people have seen it. I am ruined. Jessica sat beside him. Put an arm around his shoulders. You're not ruined. You lost a job. You're getting hate online. It's terrible. But it's not forever. The internet moves on. In a week, there'll be a new controversy. A new viral moment. People will forget. They won't forget. When you Google my name, this is what comes up. Forever. Any future employer will see it. Any future girlfriend. Anyone. This is my legacy now. The guy who rejected Keanu Reeves. Then you have to own it. Apologize. Publicly. Sincerely. Show you've learned. Show you're not that person anymore. That's the only path forward. Derek considered this. The idea of apologizing publicly terrified him. Opening himself up to more ridicule. More hate. But she was right. Silence looked like cowardice. Like he didn't care. Like he hadn't learned. Maybe an apology would help. Maybe it would make things worse. But doing nothing guaranteed nothing would change. Okay. I'll write something. Post it. See what happens. Good. Be honest. Don't make excuses. Don't blame others. Just own what you did. Say you're sorry. Say you're learning. That's all anyone can ask. Derek spent the next 2 hours writing, deleting, rewriting, trying to find words that felt genuine. That didn't sound like PR bullshit. Finally, he had something. He read it to Jessica. Last night, I was the bouncer who refused entry to Keanu Reeves at Neon Nights. I was rude. I made assumptions based on appearance and age. I physically pushed him. I was wrong. Completely, totally wrong. I want to apologize to Mr. Reeves. To everyone who's been treated similarly at clubs. To anyone who's been judged by how they look rather than who they are. I was trained to gatekeep, to maintain a certain image for the club. But that's not an excuse. I had choices. I chose to be dismissive, to be cruel. I'm ashamed of that. I've lost my job. I'm receiving thousands of hateful messages. Some people think I deserve it. Maybe they're right. But more than the consequences, I regret the hurt I caused. Mr. Reeves handled the situation with grace. I handled it with arrogance. I'm sorry. I'm learning. I hope to be better. I hope this can be a reminder to everyone in service industries. Treat people well. All people, regardless of appearance, regardless of fame, because everyone deserves dignity. I forgot that. I won't forget again. Jessica nodded. That's good. That's honest. Post it. Derek opened Facebook. His page was still flooded with angry comments. He posted his apology. Hit share. Immediately, the notifications exploded. People responding. Some supportive. Most still angry. But at least he'd said something. At least he'd tried. Marcus was having a different response. He was angry. Bitter. Felt like he'd been scapegoated. Blamed for something that wasn't entirely his fault. He hadn't pushed Keanu. That was Derek. He'd just agreed with Derek's assessment. Was that really fireable? In his mind, he was collateral damage. Innocent victim of an overreaction. He posted on his private Instagram. Didn't apologize. Defended himself. So I'm getting destroyed online for doing my job. Everyone's acting like I committed a crime. I checked the list. The name wasn't clear. The guy didn't look like a celebrity. Didn't act like one. We made a judgment call. Turns out we were wrong. But that happens. Bouncers make hundreds of decisions a night. Most are right. One was wrong. And now my life is ruined? That's fair? Keanu Reeves is a nice guy. I get it. Everyone loves him. But he could have handled it different. Could have shown ID. Could have had his manager call ahead. Could have made it easier. Instead, he shows up alone, dressed like he's going to 7-Eleven, and expects VIP treatment? Come on. He posted it. His friends saw it. Some agreed. Others pushed back hard. Bro, you're making it worse. Just apologize and move on. You're literally blaming Keanu for how he dresses? That's the problem. Delete this. Seriously. But Marcus didn't delete it. Doubled down. Argued in the comments. Got more defensive. More bitter. His post was screenshotted. Shared. Went viral in its own right. People used it as evidence. This is why they got fired. No accountability. No remorse. Just blame. The two apologies, Derek's and Marcus's defensive post, created a split narrative. Derek was seen as someone learning, taking responsibility, flawed but growing. Marcus was seen as emblematic of toxic attitudes, refusing to learn, blaming the victim. The court of public opinion rendered its verdict. Derek might recover. Marcus probably wouldn't. By Saturday afternoon, Lisa sent Keanu the draft statement. He read it, made minor edits, approved it. She released it through his official channels. Social media, his website, distributed to press. Within minutes, it was everywhere. The response was mixed. Many praised him. This is peak Keanu, using his platform for education, not revenge. He's absolutely right. The culture is the problem. Defending people who wronged him. That's grace. Others disagreed. They assaulted him. They deserve to be fired. This is too forgiving. Actions have consequences. Being nice is one thing. Being a doormat is another. The discourse raged. Think pieces were written. Keanu Reeves and the problem with cancel culture. When forgiveness enables bad behavior. Why club culture needs to change. Everyone had an opinion. Everyone was an expert. Alex saw Keanu's statement. Called him immediately. Bro, your statement is blowing up. Very you. Very generous. Just being honest about what I think. People are debating it. Some love it. Some think you're being too soft. Let them debate. That's the point. To start conversations. About culture. About how we treat people. If my statement does that good, you really don't hold a grudge, do you? What would that accomplish? They lost their jobs. They're being torn apart online. Adding my anger to that pile doesn't help anything. But maybe pushing for industry change does. That's where I'd rather put energy. Man, I need to be more like you. I wanted to punch those guys when I heard what they said. Violence doesn't solve problems. Just creates more. I know. But still, they were disrespectful. To you. To the concept of treating people well. And now they're paying for it. More than they probably should. My job isn't to pile on. It's to redirect. Use this moment for something constructive. You're a better person than most, Keanu. I'm just a person, trying to do what feels right. That's all. They talked for a few more minutes. Made plans to meet for dinner before Keanu left Miami. Then hung up. Keanu looked at his phone. The statement had 500,000 likes, thousands of comments, shares everywhere. The conversation was happening. Exactly what he'd wanted. He saw Derek's apology in the trending topics. Read it. It seemed genuine, thoughtful, self-aware. He hoped Derek meant it. Hoped this would be a turning point. A moment of growth. Not just damage control. Time would tell. He saw Marcus's defensive post. Read that too. Felt sad. This was someone who hadn't learned. Who was choosing bitterness over reflection. Who would probably carry this resentment forever. Blame Keanu. Blame the internet. Blame everyone but himself. That was his choice. His path. Nothing Keanu could do about that. Sunday, the story was still trending but losing steam. New controversies emerged. New viral moments. The internet's attention was already shifting. By Monday, it would be old news, replaced by whatever came next. That was the nature of digital discourse. Endless. Exhausting. Moving at light speed. Roberto Sanchez used the moment. Announced new policies for neon nights. We're implementing comprehensive training for all staff. Focused on inclusive service. Respectful treatment of all guests. We're eliminating subjective door policies. If you're of age and not disruptive, you're welcome. We're committing to being a space for everyone. All ages. All styles. All backgrounds. This incident was a wake-up call. We're listening. We're changing. Other clubs followed. Not wanting to be next. Not wanting their staff caught on video being discriminatory. Policies were reviewed. Training programs developed. It wasn't perfect. It wasn't immediate. But it was movement. Small shifts in a stubborn industry. All because one celebrity was refused entry and responded with grace instead of rage. Derek started job hunting. Applied to various positions. Security. Hospitality. Management. Most places didn't respond. His name was still too hot. Too recognizable. But a few did. Smaller venues. Less prestigious. Willing to give him a chance. He took a job at a hotel. Night security. Lower pay. Less excitement. But honest work. A chance to rebuild. He treated every guest with respect. Over-the-top respect. Learned names. Asked about their day. Helped with bags. Went above and beyond. Partly because he'd learned. Partly because he was terrified of another viral moment. But gradually it became genuine. He started to see people as people. Not categories. Not VIP or nobody. Just humans deserving dignity. Marcus couldn't find work. Not in Miami. His attitude made him unemployable. His defensive post had sealed it. He moved back to his hometown, Atlanta, tried to start over. But the bitterness followed him. Poisoned his interactions. He blamed the world for his problems. Never looked inward. Never grew. Just festered. 6 months later, Keanu was asked about the incident in an interview. Promoting a film. The journalist brought it up. The club incident in Miami became a cultural moment. How do you reflect on it now? Keanu paused. Thoughtful. I think about the 2 men who lost their jobs. I hope they're okay. I hope they learned something. I hope one day they'll understand it wasn't personal. It was educational. For them. For the industry. For everyone watching. We all make mistakes. All judge people unfairly sometimes. The question is whether we learn from it. Whether we grow. I hope they're growing. I hope we all are. Do you regret how it played out? I regret they lost their livelihoods. That's never something to celebrate. But I don't regret the conversation it started. About ageism. About classism. About club culture. Those conversations needed to happen. Still need to happen. If my uncomfortable moment at a door contributed to that, then something good came from something bad. That's all we can ask. The interview aired. Was shared. Became another small moment in the ongoing story. Keanu's grace. His consistency. His refusal to hold grudges. It reinforced what people already knew about him. Or thought they knew. That he was different. Better. More evolved. But he didn't see it that way. Didn't see himself as special. Just someone trying to navigate the world with integrity. Treating people well. Speaking truth. Using his platform for good when possible. Anyone could do it. Most chose not to. That was the difference. Not some innate superiority. Just choices. Made daily. Consistently. Over decades. The club incident faded into history. A story told occasionally. Referenced in articles about celebrity grace. about viral moments, about the power and danger of social media. Derek's name came up sometimes. An example of someone who'd faced consequences but learned. Grew. Marcus's name too. An example of the opposite, of choosing bitterness, of refusing accountability. And Keanu's name remained what it had always been, synonymous with kindness, with humility, with grace. One more story added to the mythology, the legend, the saint-like figure the internet had created. He neither encouraged it nor fought it. Just lived his life, as himself, imperfect, human, trying his best, which, in the end, was all anyone could do. Try, learn, grow, treat people well, especially when it was hard, especially when they didn't deserve it. Because grace wasn't about deserving. It was about choosing to be better, to elevate rather than diminish, to build rather than destroy. That was the real lesson, not from one night at a club, but from a lifetime of choices, all pointing in the same direction, toward light, toward kindness, toward love. Simple, but revolutionary, in a world that usually chose otherwise.